A few weeks ago, I stumbled upon some videos on YouTube about active worlds. I was completely amazed by this virtual world that existed back in the early days of the internet, and still exists to this day. It was years ahead of its time, yet largely forgotten, but Active Worlds lives on as an archive of digital history. There are worlds here from decades earlier, messages left by players whose lives have since moved on beyond these digital walls. I decided to look into Active Worlds some more myself, as someone who's passionate about the history of gaming and technology as a whole, and what I found was pretty amazing. Greetings, my Shadow Sprite. I'm Seraphina Shadowgrave, your librarian and archivist of obscure and interesting knowledge. Today, I'll be diving into the original virtual reality, Active Worlds. If you'd like to see more videos like these, click the subscribe button. Now, grab your comfiest blanket, maybe a warm cup of tea, and let's dive in together. Active Worlds was launched on June 28, 1995. It started with only a few thousand users, but at its peak reached numbers in the hundreds of thousands. The very concept for Active Worlds and many of the terms used by its citizens were inspired by the metaverse in the famous sci-fi novel Snow Crash by Neal Stephenson. This novel also popularized the term avatar to represent your online or virtual self. Active Worlds uses a coordinate system to travel and locate places. You would spawn in at what they called Ground Zero, which is 0 north, 0 east, the central location of every world. Alpha World is essentially the home base of all of Active Worlds. This is the first and largest public world. It is the single largest shared virtual environment, roughly the size of California. Alpha World is so large and populous that cities began to emerge, and some even formed their own governments. What was unique about Active Worlds was that it was all user-generated content. These worlds were built by the people, for the people, and anyone could build, no 3D modeling experience required. This can be compared to more modern applications such as VRchat, which requires skills in 3D modeling and Unity in order to create your own world. You could also build collaboratively within a world in Active Worlds. Active Worlds had a system in which users could copy and manipulate preset objects within the world. Each world would have what was called an object yard, where every 3D model that could be used within the world was placed. Users would initially copy one starter object from another build and use the Properties menu to change it to any of the other presets within the object yard. This could be used to create buildings, environments, and more. Essentially, think of Minecraft with all the different materials that you can use, and within those preset limitations, you can create anything. Dr. Bruce Damer, who we will be talking much more about in a moment, described Active Worlds as a place where ordinary people make magnificent things. The main strength of Active Worlds was its sense of community. This is what struck me as so amazing when I first saw this. This was once a thriving virtual world, where people could meet, hang out, chat, and attend events. A prime example of this was the Avatars 98 Cyber Conference, hosted by the Contact Consortium on November 21st, 1998. We have a great record of this event, as the original website is still up and running, and we have live footage of the event, courtesy of Dr. Bruce Damer, the conference chair. Avatars 98 was the first ever online conference and convention in a 3D space on the internet. During the event, they reached an impressive 850 simultaneous users. Other similar games from the time, like Second Life, were incapable of hosting this many users at once. And this wasn't some small-time event either. There were major players here, including Boeing, the United Nations, multiple research laboratories and universities such as Stanford and MIT. There was a CNN live broadcast, and many guest speakers, including Lauren Carpenter, who is a computer graphics researcher and developer, who is most well known as the co-founder and chief scientist of Pixar. Exhibitors also had to pay real money to host a virtual booth in the virtual exhibition hall. $100 for an 8x8 meter booth, $200 for an 8x16 meter booth, and $400 for a 16x16 meter booth. These booths could be customized with logos and links, or even add a custom bot to talk to guests and answer questions. The conference also featured breakout sessions, or pods, like we have on Zoom today. Another feature was the webcam wall. This was a virtual wall within the convention with multiple screens broadcasting live feeds from people's cameras all over the world. This convention was also home to the Avi Awards, celebrating the best in avatars for that year. That year's winner was an avatar model named Summer, who at the time was viewed as a technical marvel. It's amazing to look at avatars back then versus now and how so much has changed. Speaking of awards, another major event within Active Worlds were the Psy Awards, or Community Awards. These were named the Psy Awards after the first avatar model within the game named Psy. The Psy Awards celebrated the very best of what Active Worlds had to offer, and was one of the most important events for the community. The awards were founded by user Alphabet Falfa in May of 1998, making it one of the longest running events in any 3D environment. Categories include Best Build, Best Event, Best Leader, Best Software, Best Avatar, Best Community or Town, Best Interactive Game, Best Media Presentation, Best Website, Best Bot Design, Best Effect, Best Landscaping, Best Object Design, Best World, the Spirit Award, and the Lifetime Achievement Award. Earlier, I mentioned that Alpha World was so big that cities formed within it. Here are some of those cities. Anomia, founded by user Joseph in 2001. This city had its own virtual money system and property system. It had its own newspaper, government, university, building code, and Supreme Court. Birthday Complex, founded in 1998. This is the largest continually run builders community in Active Worlds. It is a centralized region for birthday builds, cards, well wishes, and other gifts made by various users. Horizon City, founded by Circus in 2000. Over 400 builders makes this city the largest town in Alpha Worlds by population. It won the April 2000 Psy Award for Best Community or Town. Rockford, founded in 2000. This city had its own government, with a mayor serving a 4-year term, a city council with 2-year terms, as well as a police and fire department. It also had an airport and a highway system. Lastly, SW City, which is all territory owned and operated by SW City Productions, founded in 1999. SW City was founded in March of 1999 and grew to be the largest and most active city in the Active Worlds universe. It was built initially by the gaming clan SW, or the Scarab Warriors, a team of there were gatekeepers and peacekeepers, organizations designed to help players. The Gatekeepers were an official Active Worlds recognized organization responsible for greeting and helping new users, while Peacekeepers was an organization of volunteer Active Worlds citizens that acted as informative helpers and security. Essentially, they were moderators. Their mission was, quote, "We assist users in disputes and try to prevent harassment of any user by others, regardless of the form, be it verbal abuse or harassment, racism, or vandalism." Dr. Bruce Damer has recently done an interview with the documentary team talking about the history of virtual worlds. He believes that the social aspect is the key to the success of a virtual space or virtual world. Even with its simplicity, Active Worlds was a place designed to facilitate connections. In fact, there was initially no chat, only text bubbles above the characters' heads. To accommodate this, world designers would place chairs, pots, anything for people to stand on, spread far apart in a circle, enough that everyone could read the chat bubbles from an out-of-body third-person view, essentially creating a big talking circle. He continues to stress the importance of virtual events and the desire for users to have meaningful things to do. And 3D spaces are no longer necessary to create these types of digital spaces. Think about all the important events experienced in 2D platforms, such as pretty much all of social media. Whether it's catching a live stream, watching a subathon, a YouTube video premiere, merch drops, game announcements, Nintendo Direct, even Unas Anas for those who were there. We create these meaningful experiences within the two-dimensional realm. This is why Bruce believes that the concept of a metaverse is unlikely to be achievable. There may be niche communities like that of VRchat, but there are too many barriers to entry. Most people have interacted with and understood the concept of 2D social media platforms. They have a smartphone that they can take with them anywhere and access to this virtual social world anytime they want. Virtual reality still requires financial investment. A headset, trackers, a good PC. The headsets can be bulky and uncomfortable. People can get dizzy or motion sick. Now, this is coming from someone who enjoys VR and is friends with people who are much more invested in the VRchat community than I am. But I believe that Dr. Damer is right. Unless suddenly there are major improvements to virtual reality technology, it will not become a mainstream social platform that revolutionizes connection. Active Worlds had the advantage of being something new, something never done before at a scale never seen before. It represents a bygone era of hopeful optimism about the future of technology. Now, the internet may have improved since the 90s. It is much more reliable, faster. We revolutionized online shopping and online entertainment, but there are also many downsides. The loss of trust, stealing or harvesting data, AI manipulation, lies and misinformation, advertising and consumerism are all byproducts of our modern digital landscape. We've become a lot more jaded and callous when it comes to our views on the internet today. Despite all of this, the internet can still be home to positive communities and connections. I believe in the power of the internet to bring people together, to share in these meaningful events. This may be through meeting someone with a shared interest, sharing memes with your friends, or even finding a new content creator you enjoy. More than the technological advancements, what impressed me most about Active Worlds was how the community embraced it with open arms. Sure, I may be looking at this through a historical lens, after all, I wasn't on Active Worlds growing up, but I'm sure there were probably the occasional drama, but generally it seemed like a positive place where people could create and connect. I have no clue what the future of social media and virtual hangouts will be. We are beginning to see some of the younger generations turning away from the excessive use of technology, realizing how bad it is for their mental health. Will there be a new platform that is more based on connection and not consumerism? Not the harvesting of data, but creating real connections between individuals. What this will look like, I'm not sure, but I hope that this is a future that we will create. If you liked this video, consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, it really means the most. Goodbye, my shadow sprites, till we meet again. Hi, I know it's been a long time, but I am back for now. In the meantime, while I've been gone, I have been getting my master's degree in animation. So I hope to be back creating videos more regularly. This is a video that I worked on last year, but I never finished editing. So the edits are a bit rough because I kind of rushed it, but I have plenty of new ideas. Also, I wanted to show my new 3D model. This was by a friend of mine named Reem. I will give all their information in the description. I'm very excited to show it off, and I thought this video would be the perfect opportunity as it is a new 3D model, and this is about, a 3D virtual world. So I'm excited to be back, and I can't wait to share more videos with you all. So thank you.